sister got a question? We're gonna start there first. Any one of y'all got a question? All right, Carl, give me the book of Ruth. We're about to get into, about to prove that Ruth is an Israelite and Cornelius is an Israelite. You know what I mean? Anybody outside the I.S.U.P.K, they're going to teach you that what? Ruth is a heathen and Cornelius is a heathen. But we're the home of the truth. You know what I mean? We're going to prove to you that Ruth is not a heathen and Cornelius is not a heathen, but they are Israelites. Right. You know what I mean? Anybody outside the I.S.U.P.K, they don't know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? They are lying to blacks, Hispanic, and Native American Indian people. So we're going to get into the book of Ruth first, and then we're going to break that down. Then we're going to get into the book of Acts. And then we're going to break down Cornelius. All right, Ricard, give me chapter 1. Give me Ruth, chapter 1, verse 1.
The book of Ruth, chapter 1, verse 1.
You got everybody who called in? Okay, all right.
The book of Ruth, chapter 1, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled, and there was a famine in the land, and a certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, went to sojourn in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his 2 sons.
Right, so Ruth chapter 1 verse 1 says, now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled, because before we had kings, we had judges. And now during the time when the judges was ruling, it says that there was a famine in the land. And a certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, went to sojourn in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his 2 sons. Keep going.
Verse 2. And the name of the man was
Elimelech,
and the name of his wife Naomi, and the name of his 2 sons Mahlon and Chilion, Ephrathites of Bethlehem, Judah, and they came into the country of Moab and continued there.
Right. So now they're giving us the name. The name of the man was Elimelech, and his wife was Naomi, and the 2 sons was Mahlon and Chilion, Ephrathites of Bethlehem, Judah, and they came to the country of Moab, and they continued in the country of Moab. Now these are Israelites, you know what I mean, that came to the country of Moab, which today would be the what? The Moabite people would be the so-called what today? Who are the Moabite people? Go ahead, sis. Say that again. You said the Asian or the Chinese? Not the Asians, but who else? You should know now. Not the Asian people. The Asian people would be the Ammonites. Yeah, the Japanese people, to be specific. Japanese people would be the Ammonites. So the Moabites would be the who? Chinese? Right, you're right, the Chinese people. So they live in amongst the Chinese people, the so-called Chinese people. You know what I mean? So you got Naomi, her husband, Elimelech, and their 2 sons. Went to live in the land of Moab because a famine broke out in the land in Bethlehem, Judah. Give me verse 3.
Verse 3. And Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left, and her 2 sons.
Right, so Naomi's husband died, and now she only left with her 2 sons, Mahlon and Chilion. Keep going.
Verse 4. And they took them wives of the woman of Moab. The name of the one was Orpah, and the name of the other Ruth. And they dwelt there about 10 years. Right, so they dwelt in the land of Moab about 10 years. Now the two sons went and got them a wives, you know what I mean, that lived in the land of Moab, and their name was Orpah and Ruth. You know what I mean? We're gonna prove that Ruth is an Israelite, that they Israelites. Keep going. Count will come. Verse 5. And Mahlon and Chilion died also, both of them. And the woman was left of her 2 sons and her husband.
Right, so not only did Naomi's husband die, Elimelech, but Naomi's 2 sons died as well. And now she was just left with Ruth and Orpah. Keep going.
Come. Verse 6. Then she arose with her daughters-in-law, that she might return from the country of Moab. For she had heard in the country of Moab how that the Lord had visited his people in giving them bread.
Right, so it said, then Naomi, she arose with her daughters-in-law. What makes Ruth and her sister Naomi's daughter-in-law? How's Ruth and her sister Naomi's daughter-in-law? Who knows? Anybody? How is that? Go ahead. What's this, Willie?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Willie.
It's because they married her son.
Right.
Lawfully.
Right. That's it. You know what I mean? The 2 sons stuck their rod in these 2 Israelite women in the land of Moab. That's how they became Naomi's daughter-in-law. You know what I mean? Now that they dead, Naomi is left with Ruth and Orpah. And it says that then she arose with her daughters-in-law that she might return from the country of Moab, for she had heard in the country of Moab how that the Lord had visited his people and given them bread. So she heard that the Lord had visited his people, giving them bread in where? Bethlehem, Judah. You know what I mean? So she planned on leaving the land of Moab right now, because she heard that the Lord had sent the land of Bethlehem, gave them a blessing. You know what I mean? She heard about the Most High giving them bread, so she about to leave Moab and go back to where she from. Shalom, Lord Christ, you just called in. Shalom, yes, what's going on? Yeah, I'm Tawai. Hey, put your phone on mute unless you got a question or a comment, all right? We're in the book of Ruth. You got me, Kiwi? I said put your phone on mute unless you got a question or a comment, all right? All right, so Naomi is about to head back to Bethlehem because she heard the Lord is giving Israelites bread in that land. Go ahead, Ricard, give me verse 7.
Verse 7. Wherefore she went forth out of the place where she was, and her 2 daughters-in-law with her. And they went on the way to return to the land of Judah. Right,
so they about to go to the land of Judah. You know what I mean? Naomi and her 2 daughters-in-law, Ruth and Orpah. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 8, and Naomi said unto her 2 daughters-in-law, Go, return each to her mother's house. The Lord deal kindly with you, and ye have dealt with the dead and with me.
Keep going.
Verse 9, the Lord grant you that ye may find rest, each of you in the house of her husband. Then she kissed them, and they lifted up their voice and wept.
Right, so Naomi said unto her daughters-in-law, Go return each to her mother's house. The Lord deal kindly with you as ye have dealt with the dead and with me. The Lord grant you that ye may find rest, each of you in the house of her husband. Now they was in the land of Moab. It said, then she kissed them, and they lifted up their voice and wept. Give me verse 10.
Verse 10. And they said unto her, Surely we will return with thee unto thy people.
Right, so Naomi's telling them, go back to your mother's house. You know what I mean? And Ruth and her sister said, Surely we will return with thee unto thy people. Now what do it mean when it said we will return with thee unto thy people? We will return with thee unto thy people. Who know what that means? Somebody break that down to me. Ruth and her sister said, we will return with thee unto thy people. That's what they told Naomi. Who can break that down? What does it mean we will return with thee unto thy people?
Salakia, sir. Salakia, sir.
Who said Salakia first? You said Kevin? Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Basically, that they were going to leave the land of Moab and join back to their people in the land of Israel.
Right. That's what they're telling Naomi. They're gonna leave Moab and go with her. When it says thy people, what is thy people talking about?
It's their own nation, right?
You tell me. That's what it's talking about, though. I'm gonna go ahead and let you know. That's what it's talking about. That's what it's talking about. Thy people is, just think about, let's think about, okay, let's say Naomi is from Washington, D.C. And Ruth and her sister is from St. Louis. You know what I mean? Ruth and her sister, they want to move from St. Louis and go to and live amongst them Judites in Washington, D.C. That's what it's talking about. They want to move with the Judites that live in Washington, D.C. and leave them Judites that's amongst them Chinese people in the land of Moab, or in this case, leave them Judites that's in St. Louis. They want to go amongst their people that's in D.C. You know what I mean? So look at it like that. Apply it to the day. You know what I mean? They want to go with their people that's, you know what I mean, in the land of Judah. You know what I mean? Give me verse 11. Naomi tried to get the two daughters-in-law to go back to their mother's house, meaning she wanted them to stay in the land of Moab, and this why. Give me verse 11.
Verse 11. And Naomi said, turn again, my daughters.
Shalom, Lord Christ, you just called in?
Salakia. Desmond from Atlanta.
Desmond from Atlanta? All right, we got you down, brother. All right, put your phone on mute, unless you got a question or comment, all right? We're in the book of Ruth. All right, go ahead, start at the top again.
Verse 11, and Naomi said, turn again, my daughters. Why will ye go with me?
Right, Naomi telling Ruth down, listen, go back where you from. Why you going to go with me? Go ahead.
Khan. Are there yet any more sons in my womb, that they may be your husbands?
Right, she's saying, are there any more sons in my womb, that they may be your husbands? Remember, her husband died and her two sons died. So she's not pregnant, she don't have a husband, and she don't have sons to give to her daughters-in-law. So she like, is there any more sons in my womb that you may have a husband? Go ahead.
Khan. Verse 12, turn again, my daughters, go your way, for I am too old to have an husband. If I should say, I have hope, if I should have an husband also tonight, and should also bear sons.
Go ahead.
Verse 13, will ye tarry for them till they were grown?
Right, she like, if I get a husband tonight, and I bear sons, will you tarry, meaning will you wait? Will you wait for them till they be grown? Go ahead.
Would ye stay for them from having husbands?
Go ahead.
Nay, my daughters, for it grieveth me much for your sakes, that the hand of the Lord is gone out against me.
Right, so Naomi letting Ruth them know, I don't have no more sons. And she like, I'm too old, man. I'm too old. I don't got no husband. I don't got no sons. And if I did find a husband, if I had a husband tonight and I had children, some sons tonight, you're not going to wait for them to get older to marry them off, you know what I mean?
Right.
To marry them, because when they come through the womb, they're going to be what? A baby. So you're going to have to wait for them to grow up. You're not going to be able to sleep with a baby. So she letting them know, like, I ain't got nothing for you. Go back to where you from. Keep going.
Verse 14, and they lifted up their voice and wept again. And Orpah kissed her mother-in-law, but Ruth clave unto her.
Right, so Ruth's sister, she left. You know what I mean? She did what Naomi said. She left. But Ruth clave unto Naomi. Ruth didn't want to go back. You know what I mean? Like Ruth didn't want to go back to St. Louis. She wanted to go to D.C. with Naomi. You know what I mean? She wanted to go to the land of Judah with Naomi. She didn't want to go back where she was born at. She wanted to be amongst her people in the land of Judah. Keep going.
Verse 15. And she said, Behold, thy sister-in-law is gone back unto her people and unto her gods. Return thou after thy sister-in-law.
Now, who can break that down? It says, Naomi said, Behold, thy sister-in-law, talking about Orpah, is gone back into her people and into her gods. Return thou after thy sister-in-law. So Naomi is telling Ruth, listen, your sister, she going back into her people, into her gods. Now you return and do what she did. You know what I mean? Who can break that down? She went back to her people and her gods. Who is her people and who is her God? Go ahead.
If I'm understanding right, they are from the house of Israel, but when they went into the land of Moab, they began to worship the gods of Moab. So the sister-in-law, the other sister, she went on back to worship, which she already knows. She didn't want to change. She wanted to be who she already was.
Yeah, she wanted, like, if she was from St. Louis, and she didn't want to go to D.C. with Naomi in D.C. You know what I mean? I'm saying St. Louis, I'm using St. Louis and D.C. like Judah and Moab right now. You know what I mean? So let's say she's from St. Louis, and Ruth went back with Naomi to D.C. The sister, Naomi told him, go back where you from. She went back to St. Louis and lived amongst, lived in St. Louis amongst the Judite them that's in St. Louis. You know what I mean? Instead of going to D.C. and living amongst the Judite people that's in D.C. You got to look at it like that. You know what I mean? If you want to apply it to today, you know what I mean, in the country we live in now, she basically went back to her people that was in the same land she was born in and worshiped the same idol gods that her people was worshiping in Moab. You know what I mean? Being that it's a Moabite country, so-called Chinese people, today they would be involved with what religion? The Hinduism. I mean, it don't say that right here, but I'm letting you know if you apply it to today, it's like a black person going back and worshiping the Hindu god. You know what I mean? Or Buddha. Yeah, the Buddha. Hinduism and worshiping Buddha. So that's what Ruth's sister did. That's what Orpah did. You know what I mean? But Ruth, she was different. The scripture says she a virtuous woman. You know what I mean? Ruth, she clave unto Naomi. She like, nah, I ain't going back. I want to be amongst my people. Where you going at? You know what I mean? I want to be with them Judites. Wherever you going, that's where I'm going. Wherever you lodge, that's where I'm going. Wherever you die, that's where I want to be. You know what I mean? Ruth was on it like that. She didn't want to turn back and go back to the land of Moab. Keep going.
Verse 16, and Ruth said, Entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For whither thou goest, I will go, and whither thou lodgest, I will lodge. Mm-hmm. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God shall be my God.
Right, I'm going with you with my people where you going at. You know what I mean? Wherever you going, I'm going with you and my people wherever you going at. You know what I mean? You going over there to the Bethlehem, Judah, I'm going over there with you, with my people over there. You know what I mean? She basically putting on her culture. You know what I mean? She was from the land of Moab, so now she about to put on her Israelite culture. You know what I mean? Naomi already knows she's an Israelite. Ruth knows she's an Israelite, but Ruth knows she's from Moab. She was born in the land of Moab and not the land of Judah. So that's why she like, listen, your God going to be my God. Like, what y'all worshiping over here? The Most High, Yahweh? I'm going to worship the Most High, Yahweh. You living over here? I'm living over here. My people over here with you, I'm going with my people with you over here. You know what I mean? That's what she's doing. That's what she's saying to Naomi. I mean, wherever you go, I'm going, following right behind you. I'm not going back to the land of Moab with my sister. I'm not doing what she's doing. You know what I mean? I want to worship Yahweh. All right, give me... You know, I want to get to certain scriptures because the people who teach that Ruth is not an Israelite, they go into certain scriptures. So I want to make sure I break those down. I know chapter 1, verse 10, 15, and 16 was one of the main ones. Skip down to verse 22.
Verse 22. And Naomi returned, and Ruth the Moabitess, her daughter-in-law with her, was returned out of the country of Moab, And they came to Bethlehem in the beginning of barley harvest.
All right, it says, so Naomi returned and Ruth the Moabitess. What is Ruth the Moabitess? What that's talking about? Ruth the Moabitess. Go ahead.
Pertaining to the Moabite custom and culture.
Pertaining, say that again? You said pertaining to the Moabite what?
Culture and customs.
Give me more.
Pertaining to, similar to, but not, similar to the, what we would call Jewish today. They, claim to be, but they're not.
Right, so you basically saying she is from the land of Moab, where she took on them customs at one part.
Yes, sir. I'm saying she lives in the land of Moab, but her pedigree is of the house of Judah.
Right, she's from the nation of Israel, but she lived in the land of Moab. You know what I mean? So when you see her, you know what I mean, the men in the land of Judah, when they see her, they're gonna be like, well, we're gonna pull the scripture, but just think about the brother who just answered the question. Where you from? You from Atlanta? Okay, so you from Georgia.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you from Georgia. Let's say Ruth was from, let's say she was from New York. No, I mean, you know that New York they got a different style, a different lingo than Georgia, right? They sound different when they talk. They dress different, right? So you see, you would know the difference between a New York girl and a girl that was born in Georgia, right? Yeah, she gonna stand out. That's how Ruth stood out to the man in the land of Judah. You know what I mean? They knew that she was Moabitess. They say Moabitess because, you know what I mean, they know that this ain't a woman, this not a woman we usually see. We're not familiar with this type of Israelite girl around here. You know what I mean? She a stranger, but you know she from another place, how she dressed, how she might wear her hair. You know what I mean? All that, her style, how she talk. Just like you know a woman from New York opposed to a woman from Georgia, you know what I mean? I'm trying to put you in the spirit of knowing, you know what I mean? I'm trying to give you the mindset of, you know what I mean, a sister coming from another country to the land where you was born at. You know what I mean? It's just like a black woman from New York coming to live in Georgia. And you looking at her like, damn, man, that's that sister right there. She from New York. She ain't from around here. She's different. You know what I mean? She dressed different. She wear her hair different. You know how the New York girls, you know what I mean, how they wear their hair. You know how they talk a little rough. You know what I mean? You identify with, you know what I mean, the city and the town and the country where they from. So when it says, so Naomi returned and Ruth the Moabitess, her daughter-in-law with her, which returned out of the country of Moab, and they came to Bethlehem in the beginning of the harvest. You know what I mean? When these brothers see her, they're going to be like, that's Ruth the Moabitess. You know what I mean? Or that's Shamika from New York. You know what I mean? You feel me? But go ahead, give me, keep going, Ricard. Give me verse 2, chapter 2, verse 1.
Chapter 2, verse 1. Ruth, chapter 2, verse 1. And Naomi had a kinsman of her husband, a mighty man of wealth, of the family of Elimelech, and his name was Boaz.
All right, so Naomi had a kinsman of her husband. Now, her husband passed away, and she had a kinsman of her husband, a mighty man of wealth. I mean, he had wealth. Of the family of Elimelech, and his name was Boaz. So Boaz was Ruth's husband's kinsman. Keep going.
Verse 2. And Ruth the Moabitess said,
Ruth the what?
The Moabitess.
The Moabitish. You know what I mean? Like saying the Jewish. Like saying Jewish. And they're not really a Jew. But they act like they Jews, you know what I mean? They're in the land of Israel. They think they the real Jews, but they know they're not. Well, I ain't gonna say they think they're the real Jews. They know they're not the real Jews, but they take on the customs of Jews. You know what I mean? They act like they live in these laws, statutes, and commandments written in the Bible. So is the Moabitess woman. Ruth, the Moabitish woman, you know what I mean? Ruth, Moabitish, meaning what? She's not really a Moabite. I mean, but she grew up around Moabites, in the Moabite custom, Moabite land. You know what I mean? But she's really an Israelite woman living in the land of Moab. Go ahead.
Khan. And Ruth the Moabitess said unto Naomi, let me now go to the field and glean ears of corn after him, in whose sight I shall find grace. And he said unto her, go, my daughter.
Skip me down to verse. Give me verse 4 and 5.
Verse 4. And behold, Boaz came from Bethlehem and said unto the reapers, the Lord be with you. And they answered him, the Lord bless thee.
Right, so Boaz came and told the brothers, you know what I mean, told the reapers, Lord be with you. And they said, Lord bless you. You know what I mean? Keep going.
Verse 5. Then said Boaz unto his servant that was set over the reapers, whose damsel is this?
Right. Boaz like, whose damsel is this? Like, who is this Moabitish woman? You know what I mean? Why did he say that? Because he know the other maidens that's in the field already. You know what I mean? Ruth came, she knew. So Boaz looking at Ruth like, who is this woman right here? Who is this damsel right here? Not because she's a heathen, but because she's a stranger to the land of Judah. Even though she's an Israelite, she's a stranger because they're not familiar with Ruth. Ruth was in Moab. I mean, she wasn't in the land of Judah. She was born in a whole different country. So she came amongst them. Boaz like, who is this damsel? Like, he already seen everybody else. Who is this? Keep going.
Verse 6. And the servant that was set over the reapers answered and said, it is the Moabitess damsel that came back with Naomi out of the country of Moab.
Right, it's this woman, it's this New Yorker, man. This woman from New York. She came back with Willie. She came back with Willie to Georgia, you know what I mean? Or she came back with Ricard to Jersey. You know what I mean? That's how it is, man. It's a Moabitish woman. She came with Naomi out of the land of Moab. They not looking at her like, man, who the hell is this heathen right here? Who the hell Naomi brought? Why she brought this damn Hamite? You know what I mean? This Chinese lady. They ain't looking at her like that. They're looking at her like a sister from another area. You know what I mean? From another place on earth. From the land of Moab. Somebody say Shalaki? All right, keep going.
Come on. Verse 7. And she said, I pray you, let me glean and gather after the reapers among the sheaves. Yes, so she came and have continued even from the morning until now, that she tarried a little in the house. Verse 8. Then said Boaz unto Ruth, hearest thou not, my daughter? Go not to glean in another field, neither go from hence, but abide here fast by my maidens.
Right, so Boaz told her to go ahead, go over there with his maidens. Go ahead, keep going.
Verse 9, let thine eyes be on the field that they do reap, and go thou after them. Have I not charged the young men that they shall not touch thee? And when thou art athirst, go into the vessels and drink of that which the young men have drawn.
Right, Shalom on Christ. Who just called in? Who just called in right then? Okay. I had a feeling it was you, you know what I mean? If it happened again, just call back in, and if I ask who it is, you know what I mean? If you don't say nothing, I know it's you, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, no sweat. Okay, give me, where you was at?
Verse 9.
Give me verse 9 again.
Let thine eyes be on the field that they do reap, and go thou after them. Have I not charged the young men that they shall not touch thee?
Right, so Boaz told Ruth, you know what I mean? Let thine eyes be on the field that the maiden's eyes is on, where they over there reaping. And it said that they do reap, and go thou after them. Have I not charged the young men that they should not touch thee? Go ahead.
And when thou art athirst, go into the vessels and drink of that which the young men have drawn.
Right, so he basically made it easy for Ruth to go over there. You know what I mean? Treating her like she been around them for years. You know what I mean? This is a sister. She's a stranger coming from another land of Moab. You know what I mean? Now she amongst us, so we're gonna treat her like she's a sister. You know what I mean? That's how we treat brothers when they come into the school. We treat brothers like we've been knowing them. You know what I mean? Brothers, we take off our boots, give them to them. You know what I mean? They need some clothes, give them clothes. They need war scars. I mean, treat them like they family because they are a brother. You know what I mean? So Boaz is, you know what I mean, treating Ruth like, you know what I mean, go over there with the maidens, go over there, you know what I mean, with your sisters. And whatever they doing, you do what they doing. You know what I mean? Get involved with the work in the field. Go ahead.
Verse 10, then she fell on her face and bowed herself to the ground and said unto him, why have I found grace in thine eyes, that thou shouldest take knowledge of me, seeing I am a stranger?
Right, she's like, I'm a stranger, man. I don't know who y'all are. I just know that y'all my people. You know what I mean? How'd I find grace in your eyes, being that I'm a stranger? You know what I mean? Give me, let me see. Keep going.
Come. Verse 11, and Boaz answered and said unto her, it hath fully been showed me all that thou hast done unto thy mother-in-law since the death of thine husband, and how thou hast left thy father and thy mother and the land of thy nativity, and art come unto a people which thou knewest not heretofore.
Right, you left your family in Moab in the land of your nativity. What nativity? Who know what nativity mean? The land of thy nativity. What that mean? Real simple.
It will be like a land that you native for. Like
yeah.
You are related to the day. We know we are Israelites, but we born in America.
Right.
So America will be our native land.
Right. It's like you're a native. You know what I mean? Ruth was a more Moab native. You know what I mean? So it's the land of thy nativity, and art come unto a people which thou knewest not heretofore. You know what I mean? Somebody who don't understand that, they'll say, see, Ruth, she came into another people that she ain't ever know.
And Salaki,
go ahead.
If I could pull a precept to how why Boaz did what he did.
Okay, hold on. It's the people, the fake Israelite groups, man. The church, they teach that. See, Ruth came from Moab to a people that she don't even know, man. Meaning they how they look at it, their perspective is Ruth is a Moabite woman,
right.
And she came amongst these Judites. She don't know them. You know what I mean? This is a Chinese lady. She came amongst these Judites, man. She a stranger. She a heathen.
Right.
But that ain't what it's saying. It's saying Ruth came from her nativity, the land of Moab, amongst her people that's in another area, man. That's in another land.
Right.
It's not saying that she's a heathen and all of a sudden she became holy and she able to separate with the 12 tribes of Israel. It's saying that Ruth is an Israelite woman, not from Judah,
right.
the land, you know what I mean? But her people is all over. So therefore, when she went with Naomi, she went amongst her people in a whole different country. You know what I mean? And why would she follow Naomi? And she was married to who? Naomi's son. She was married to an Israelite man. You know what I mean? If this was a heathen, you telling me Israelites can marry heathen women? And if you saying that, what scripture is that? You know what I mean? The Lord told us we can't sleep with no heathen woman. Heathen women split up the kingdom, the southern and northern kingdom.
Right.
Heathen women also did what? The Lord flooded the earth because we want to sleep with women outside our race in the book of Genesis. So the Lord never, throughout the Bible is a river, man, flowing river. Throughout the whole entire Bible, the Lord is never telling us to sleep with heathen women.
Right.
Never telling our women to sleep with heathen men.
Right.
The book of Ruth is just a story of an Israelite stranger, you know what I mean, finding her culture, living amongst her people, following these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I mean? The book of Esther, what? Benjamin's sister,
Right.
who was married to a heathen. That the Lord didn't like that. You know what I mean? The Lord didn't like that. And what happened? He died, right? And she helped save her nation. She didn't help save her husband nation, who she was married to. So throughout the Bible, the whole entire Bible, the Lord is letting us know in every book, anytime you see a woman that knows who she is and she able to get with an Israelite man, she got to be an Israelite woman. You know what I mean? You can't apply Moses' situation to this, because why? Moses wasn't in the truth when he got with the Ethiopian woman. You know what I mean? Moses didn't know no better. But when Moses found out the truth, you notice he didn't get another woman, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? But Ruth knows she's an Israelite. That's why she said, I'm a stranger because I come from a whole different country than my Israelite brothers over here. What we got? Where we at?
We just read verse 11.
Okay, give me, let me see. What chapter? That was chapter 2, right? Give me chapter 3. 13 and 20. Now, give me chapter, stay in the same chapter, give me verse 20.
Ruth chapter 2, verse 20. And Naomi said unto her daughter-in-law, Blessed be he of the Lord, who have not left of his kindness to the living and to the dead. And Naomi said unto her, The man is near of kin unto us, one of our next kinsmen.
Right, so Naomi is letting Ruth know that Boaz is a kinsman. And that's another one that shows you, that proves that she's an Israelite. Because Boaz is her kinsman. You know what I mean? And who know the law of the kinsman? Give me Deuteronomy 25 and 5, Carl. Deuteronomy 25 and 5. Oh man, we're gonna break down what Naomi mean when she say Boaz is your next to kinsman. You're near the kinsman.
Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
If brethren dwell together, and one of them die, and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger.
Right, so if you got two brothers, and one of them die, the wife of that brother that died, she can't marry a stranger, which lets you know what? If your brother die, and the wife of your brother, the Lord says she can't marry a stranger, what is the Lord letting you know? What the Lord letting you know you can't do? Go ahead. All right, brother, go ahead.
That you can't throw that woman away.
Not only that, what else though?
And you also got to take her in.
What else?
And take her in and take care of her as your own.
What else? That ain't what I'm looking for. What else though? That's true, but that ain't what I'm talking about.
Oh, you gotta give a seed.
You gotta do what?
Have a child.
That ain't what I'm looking for. Even though that's true. Go ahead.
That she wouldn't be able to marry somebody of another name.
Right. Read it again, Ricard.
Come. Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 5. If brethren dwell together.
Go ahead.
And one of them die.
Go ahead.
And have no child.
The
wife of the dead.
The wife of the brother that died, go ahead.
Shall not marry without unto a stranger.
She can't marry a stranger, meaning she got to marry an Israelite man. She can't marry a heathen man. Keep going.
Her husband's brother shall go in unto her.
Right, now, in the book of Ruth, chapter 1, Both of Naomi's sons died. So it said if your brother died, then the other brother got to go into the wife. But the thing is, Naomi don't have sons. So they got to do what? Deal with the nearest of kin. And who just said that? Naomi. Naomi told Ruth, Boaz is you're near the kinsman. So they doing what? They following the law. Who did the Most High get a lawsuit? The nation of Israel. Heathens don't fit that law. Heathens, the law was not even given to heathens, man. The Lord said he dealt not so with any other nation.
Right.
So that also proves that Ruth is an Israelite. Because she about to do the part of the kinsman. Keep reading.
Con. Her husband's brother shall go in unto her, and take her to him to wife.
Go ahead.
And perform the duty of an husband's brother unto her.
Right, perform the duties of a husband brother unto her. And being that Ruth's husband died also, the brother wouldn't be able to do it. So that's why they're going to the next of kin. Keep going.
Verse 6.
Come.
Verse 6. And it shall be that the firstborn which she beareth shall succeed in the name of his brother, which is dead, that his name be not put out of Israel.
Right, so you basically keeping the name, your brother's name alive in the nation of Israel. Go ahead. Which is an honorable thing. Right. I mean, your brother died, and he don't have any children. I mean, you raise up children to that brother, man. That's the law. So that's the honorable thing to your brother, to keep seed, to keep your brother's name alive in the nation of Israel. Go ahead.
Verse 7. And if the man like not to take his brother's wife, then let his brother's wife go up to the gate unto the elders and say, my husband's brother refuses to raise up unto his brother a name in Israel. Right, so
if you're a brother who's not willing to perform that particular duty, then the wife, she can go and let the elders know, man. Let the priests know that, you know what I mean, my husband brother, he's not willing to perform that act. You know what I mean? He don't want to raise up a son or inheritance to the nation of Israel. He don't want his brother's name to live on. Go ahead.
Con. He will not perform the duty of my husband's brother.
Mm-hmm. What verse you at?
Verse 8.
Keep going.
Verse 8. Then the elders of his city shall call him and speak unto him. And if he stand to it and say, I like not to take her. Verse 9. Then shall his brother's wife come unto him in the presence of the elders, and loose his shoe from off his foot, and spit in his face, and shall answer and say, so shall it be done unto that man that will not build up his brother's house.
Right, that's if the brother is not willing to do it, you know what I mean? And he let that woman know he's not really willing to do it. That woman, she can spit in his face. You know what I mean? That's what the law say. I mean, you let that woman, your brother's wife know that you ain't trying to raise up his seed. You know what I mean? You ain't trying to do the duty of a brother that passed away and raise up a seed to this nation. She can spit in your face. Keep going.
Verse 10. And his name shall be called in Israel the house of him that have his shoe loose.
Right, and you have a bad reputation, a bad name amongst the nation, man. And you don't want that. You can't kick no more brotherhood as a weapon. No more brotherhood scriptures for you. They're going to look at you like, you out here talking about brotherhood. Nigga. What about your dead brother who you embarrassed in front of everybody? I mean, get me back to the story of Ruth. Where we left off? 2 and 20. Okay, start at 20 again.
Ruth chapter 2, verse 20. And Naomi said unto her daughter-in-law, blessed be he of the Lord, who have not left off his kinsmen to the living and to the dead. And Naomi said unto her...
It didn't say kinsmen. Read that again.
Oh, Salaki. Who have not left off his kindness to the living and to the dead. And Naomi said unto her, the man is near of kin unto us, one of our next kinsmen.
Right, it said, who have not left off, the Most High has not left off his kindness to the living and to the dead. Because, you know what I mean, Naomi's children, her 2 sons died. And the Lord is about to raise up seed, you know what I mean, to the 2 sons that died. You know what I mean? So the Lord, this is his kindness right here. Allowing Ruth to come over and to have a husband, so that whoever they choose, whoever the Most High choose to lay down with Ruth, they're going to raise up an inheritance and a seed to the nation in the name of their brother, man, that passed away. And Naomi is letting her know that Boaz is near the kin unto them, one of our next kinsmen. You know what I mean? So basically, Ruth is amongst her kinfolk, like we say in the South. She's with her kinfolk. When she went to the land of Judah with Naomi, she went to join her kinfolks in the land of Judah. Give me 20, keep going, 21.
Verse 21, and Ruth the Moabitess said, he said unto me also, thou shalt keep fast by my young men until they have ended all my harvest.
Keep going.
22, and Naomi said unto Ruth, her daughter-in-law, it is good, my daughter, that thou go out with his maidens, that they meet thee not in any other field.
Keep going.
Verse 23, so she kept fast by the maidens of Boaz to glean unto the end of barley harvest and of wheat harvest, and dwelt with her mother-in-law.
Okay, give me, yeah, keep going. Give me 3 and 1.
Ruth chapter 3, verse 1, then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said unto her, my daughter, shall I not seek rest for thee, that it may be well with thee? Verse 2, and now is not Boaz of our kindred, with whose maidens thou wast? Behold, he winnoweth barley tonight in the threshing floor.
Keep going.
Verse 3, wash thyself therefore, and anoint thee, and put thy raiment upon thee, and get thee down to the floor. But make not thyself known unto the man, until he shall have done eating and drinking.
Right, so basically Naomi is schooling Ruth on how to move on Boaz. You know what I mean? Wait till he's done eating and drinking, and then you go over there. You know what I mean? She basically schooling her on what to do and how to deal with Boaz. Keep going.
And it shall be, verse 4, and it shall be, when he lieth down, that thou shalt mark the place where he shall lie, and thou shalt go in, and uncover his feet, and lay thee down, and he will tell thee what thou shalt do. Verse 5, and she said unto her, all that thou sayest unto me, I will do.
Right, so she's saying, okay, everything you told me, I'm going to do that. You want me to wait till he laying down? You know what I mean? I'll wait till he laying down, then I'll move on him. Keep going.
Verse 6, and she went down unto the floor, and did accordingly to all that her mother-in-law bade her.
Now, why is Naomi telling Ruth all this? Because Naomi want what? What Naomi want to happen to Ruth? Remember back in, let me see. Go ahead.
Back in chapter 1, when
right.
Naomi's children died, she told her and her sister to go back into the land where they were from and find a husband.
Right. So what is Naomi trying to get Ruth to do? You basically just said it.
Find a husband.
Find, get her husband. You know what I mean? That's why Ruth clave to him, clave to Naomi. You know what I mean? Her husband died. And what the law say when your husband died? You know what I mean? You loose from the law, right? Meaning you can go in and deal with another man. Ruth could have went back, but she clave to Naomi, and she about to get another husband. You know what I mean? Next to kin. That's honorable, man. Because her sister went back and dealt with who knows, you know what I mean? Her sister went back to the land of Moab. Ain't no telling what happened to her. It don't say. Keep going.
Verse 7, And when Boaz had eaten and drunk, and his heart was merry, he went to lie down at the end of the heap of corn. And she came softly and uncovered his feet and laid her down. Verse 8, and it came to pass at midnight that the man was afraid and turned himself, and behold, a woman lay at his feet.
Right, so Boaz looking like, damn. He turned and see a woman laying at his feet. Go ahead.
Verse 9, and he said, who art thou?
Right, who are you? Go ahead.
And she answered, I am Ruth, thine handmaid. Spread therefore thy skirt over thine handmaid, for thou art a near kinsman.
Right, so she knows she's an Israelite, man. That's her knowing that she's an Israelite. Thou art in kinsman. So basically, so she's saying they can. How can she be a heathen?
Right.
You know what I mean? How can she be a heathen when she's kin? She's kinfolk. You know what I mean? She just admitted that she's an Israelite. Keep going.
Come. Verse 10, and he said, blessed be thou of the Lord, my daughter, for thou hast showed me kindness in the latter end than at the beginning, inasmuch as thou followest not young men, whether poor or rich.
Right, he said you don't follow young man, you know what I mean, the young man, whether they poor or rich. Oh man, you over here trying to get with me. You know what I mean, Boaz older than them young men. Even though he's near the kin, watch what he tells Ruth. Go ahead.
Verse 11, and now, my daughter, fear not. I will do to thee all that thou requirest. For all the city of my people doth know that thou art a virtuous woman.
Right, he said all the city of my people. Meaning all of us in this city, we know that Ruth is a virtuous woman. You know what I mean? You find me where the Lord consider a heathen woman a virtuous woman.
Right.
You know what I mean? Got all these clues in the Bible letting you know that it's not a heathen woman.
Right.
You know what I mean? A virtuous woman, that's what, Proverbs 31? You read that, that's not talking about no heathen woman, man.
Right.
You can't even be a virtuous woman if you're a heathen woman.
Right.
The Lord not even going to allow you to help this nation. If you you know what I mean? What Christ tell the Canaanite woman? He called her a dog. I mean, she better, if you're a heathen woman, you got to understand that you are a slave in the future.
And it's so heavy that you brought out the point that it said that she's a virtuous woman, because it just reminds me of Cornelius. Like anytime it's talking about somebody like that, it's certain words that you know only reply to Israelites. Like
I know he's devout.
A devout
yeah,
man.
we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. But yeah, it describes them, it gives them an honorable title, man. A virtuous woman, because what she's doing is virtuous. First of all, she cleaved to Naomi to get her husband to raise up seed to the nation of Israel. Ain't no heathen woman going to do that. They're not even allowed to. And that's part of the law of the kinsman law, the brother law.
Right.
You know what I mean? Give me verse 12. Watch what, this is what Boaz tell Ruth. Because Naomi told Ruth that Boaz is the kinsman. But this is what Boaz tell Ruth. Go ahead.
Verse 12. And now it is true that I am thy near kinsman.
Right. She like, yeah, you're right. I am your kinsman, your near kinsman. Go ahead.
Howbeit, there is a kinsman nearer than I.
That's honorable. You know what I mean? He like, I'm your near kinsman, but you got brothers out there that's close to you than I am. You know what I mean? Your near kinsman, listen, you should go deal with them. You know what I mean? He gonna give them a chance first.
Right.
You know what I mean? Well, he trying to go over there to Boaz because Boaz is rich and all that. You know what I mean? Boaz like, look, I'm your near kinsman, but guess what? They're a kinsman nearer than me. Go ahead, keep going.
Verse 13. Tarry this night, and it shall be in the morning that if he will perform unto thee the part of a kinsman.
The part of the what?
A part of a kinsman.
The kinsman of an Israelite man. Go ahead.
Well, let him do the kinsman's part.
Right. Let them do the kinsman part. Go ahead.
But if he will not do the part of a kinsman to thee, then will I do the part of a kinsman to thee. As the Lord liveth, lie down until this morning.
Right. So he like, listen, you got brothers that's nearer kinsmen than I am. If they want to do it, let them do it. If they, you know what I mean, they push it to the side, they don't want to do it, I mean, then I'll take on that burden. You know what I mean? I'll take that on. That's what Boaz let them know. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 14. And she lay at his feet until the morning. And she rose up before one could know another. Another. And he said, let it not be known that a woman came unto the floor. Verse 15. Also he said, bring the veil that thou hast upon thee, and hold it. And when she held it, he measured 6 measures of barley, and laid it on her. And she went into the city.
Skip down to chapter 4, verse 1.
Ruth chapter 4, verse 1. Then went Boaz up to the gate, and sat him down there. And behold, the kinsman of whom Boaz spake came by.
Right. So like it said, and the kinsman that Boaz was talking about, nearer than he said the kinsman of Boaz came. You know what I mean? Of who he was talking about that night. Go ahead.
Unto whom he said, ho, such a one, turn aside, sit down here. And he turned aside and sat down.
Right, so Boaz, it said, then went Boaz up to the gate and sat him down there. So Boaz is sitting down, and then he see the kinsman. He called them like, listen, sit down right here. You about to tell him something. Go ahead.
Verse 2, and he took 10 men of the elders.
He took how many?
10 men of the elders.
He took 10 men of the elders. So not only do he got the kinsmen, but he got the elders too. Go ahead.
Of the city, and said, sit ye down here.
Right, so now you got the kinsmen sitting down, he's sitting down, and he got the elders sitting down. You know what I mean? This is what they having? He got the elders, first he got the elders for what? What's the elders for? Go ahead.
Council.
Yeah, they having a council. What the elders for? Hold on. Let the brother. The brother who just said council, what's the elders for?
The elders are there to make sure everything goes the way it's supposed to go.
That's true. Recall what you about to say?
Salakia, it would be preparing a ceremony, and the elders there to be witness to it.
You said preparing a ceremony?
Yeah, like the elders would be there to prepare to be
witness.
Their witness.
Yeah, they that's what it is. They witnesses. You know what I mean? So that he told the elders, the 10 elders, to sit down so they can, bear witness to what's going on. That's also what's the law? 2 or 3 what? Witnesses.
Right.
You know what I mean? That way nobody can say this didn't happen. You know what I mean? I didn't say I didn't want Ruth. You know what I mean? I heard y'all got some land over there, man. Y'all got some land? Oh, no, I ain't really saying you want Ruth. I want Ruth.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't lie. You got witnesses. Keep going.
Come. Verse 3. And he said unto the kinsman Naomi, that is come again out of the country of Moab, selleth a parcel of land which was our brother's Elimelech. Verse 4. And I thought to advertise thee, saying, buy it before the inhabitants, and before the elders of my people. If thou wilt redeem it, redeem it. But if thou wilt not redeem it, then tell me, that I may know. For there is none to redeem it besides thee, and I am after thee. And he said, I will redeem it.
Right, so one of the kinsmen said they will redeem it. You know what I mean? Once they told him that Naomi's husband got a parcel of land in the country of Moab, then Boaz is letting them know that. You know what I mean? Boaz set them down like, listen, Naomi, her husband, which is our brother, you know what I mean? Our people, he got some land over there, a parcel of land over there in the land of Moab.
Right.
So now one of the kinsmen, they like, yeah, I want it. Keep going.
Con. Verse 5. Then said Boaz, what day thou buyest the field of the hand of Naomi, thou must buy it also of Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of the dead, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance.
Right, so he said, not only do you gonna get the land, but listen, you gotta take Ruth too. And you gotta raise up the dead. You know what I mean? You gotta sleep with Ruth and raise up the dead. Keep going.
Verse 6. And the kinsman said, I cannot redeem it for myself,
Go ahead.
lest I mar my own inheritance.
He was like, now he said, I can't redeem it for myself, lest I destroy my own inheritance. You know what I mean? I can't do it myself. I'm going to destroy my own inheritance. Go ahead.
Redeem thou my right to thyself,
You know what I mean? Go ahead.
for I cannot redeem it.
Right, so he giving it to Boaz. You know what I mean? Take my right. You know what I mean? You take on this. I don't want to take it on. You know what I mean? First he said he could redeem it. Now he's saying I can't redeem it. You know what I mean? So he passed it on to Boaz. Go ahead.
Verse 7. Now this was the manner in former time in Israel concerning redeeming and concerning changing. For to confirm all things, a man plucked off his shoe and gave it to his neighbor. And this was a testimony in Israel.
Right, so you were to take off your shoe and give it to the man who you passed it to, you know what I mean, in agreement. So he took off his shoe and gave it to Boaz. Go ahead.
Verse 8. Therefore his kinsman said unto Boaz, buy it for thee. So he drew off his shoe.
Go ahead.
Verse 9. And Boaz said unto the elders and unto all the people, ye are witnesses this day.
You are what?
Ye are witnesses this day.
He said, the elders and all the people, you are witnesses. Go ahead.
That I have bought all that was Elimelech's and all that was Chilion's and Mahlon's of the hand of Naomi.
Keep going.
Verse 10. Moreover, Ruth the Moabitish, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased to be my wife, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance.
Right, so he got Ruth too. He bought Ruth too, to raise up the dead. Go ahead.
That the name of the dead be not cut off from among his brethren, and from the gate of his place. Ye are witnesses this day.
Okay, let me see. Shalom Christ, who just called in? Okay, give me, skip down to verse 13.
Verse 13. So Boaz took Ruth, and she was his wife. And when he went in unto her, the Lord gave her conception, and she bare a son.
Right, so Ruth got pregnant. Boaz slept with Ruth, and Ruth got pregnant. Keep going.
Verse 14. And the woman said unto Naomi, blessed be the Lord, which have not left thee this day without a kinsman, that his name may be famous in Israel.
Keep going.
Verse 15. And he shall be unto thee a restorer of thy life, and a nourisher of thine old age. For thy daughter-in-law, which loveth thee, which is better to thee than 7 sons, have borne him.
Right, so it's better to thee than 7 sons. You know what I mean? Because Ruth, what she doing is virtuous, like the scriptures say. You know what I mean? She raising up. Not only that, but Ruth is Yahweh great grandmother. You know what I mean? You know Boaz, that's Christ's lineage. Matter of fact, it should be breaking it down. Let me see. Keep going.
Verse 16. And Naomi took the child and laid it in her bosom and became nursed unto it.
Keep going.
Verse 17. And the woman, her neighbors, gave it a name, saying, there is a son born to Naomi, and they call it his name Obed.
Yep.
Obed.
Go ahead.
He is the father of Jesse, the father of David.
So Obed is the father of Jesse. Jesse is the father of David. Give me, hold right there. Give me, what is it, Matthew 1:1? Read Matthew 1:1 real quick.
Matthew chapter 1 verse 1. The book of the generations of Yahushua Mashiach, the son of David.
Son of who?
The son of David.
The son of David. Obed is the father of Jesse. Jesse is the father of David. Christ came out of the bloodline of who?
Of David.
Keep going.
The son of Abraham.
Right. Abraham and David. So it's letting you know that Christ is in that same bloodline. Now give me back. So Obed is the father of Jesse. Jesse is the father of David. That's the bloodline that Christ came out of. Keep going.
Now these are the generations of Pharez. Pharez begot Hezron, and Hezron begot Ram.
Okay, you can stop right there. It's basically breaking down the generation. You know what I mean? So that's what made Ruth a virtuous Israelite woman, man. Because she took on, she came and she did something great. You know what I mean? She wanted a child. She wanted a husband and a child to raise up in the nation of Israel. You know what I mean? And like I said, Christ come out of that bloodline. So that was honorable and virtuous. Now give me the book of Acts. And you know it'll be evil to leave a sister unmarried. I mean, a sister who want a husband and want a child. You know, I mean, if you don't give her a husband to raise up a seed of Israel, that'll be evil in the sight of the Most High, man. I mean, all these sisters that need man, if they don't get men in America right now, they're gonna do what? They're gonna be in the LGBT community.
Right.
You know what I mean? They need this truth too. You got a book of Acts? I mean, the Lord teaches us how to preserve our nation, man. You know what I mean? When he said don't deal with the heathens, don't sleep with they women and marry their husbands, yeah, he's basically preserving the nation of Israel, man, to grow and multiply on this earth. Give me Acts 10:1. What was that? Okay. Acts 10:1. Hold on, let me get that with you. All right, you go ahead.
Acts chapter 10, verse 1. There was a certain man in Caesarea. Caesarea.
I mean, you might be right, but just go ahead. That's how I said it.
There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band.
All right, so here we go. In the book of Acts, the New Testament. You know what I mean? This is another one where your fake Israelites try to teach that Cornelius is not an Israelite. You know what I mean? Just like they teach Ruth is not an Israelite. So we're about to break it down that Cornelius is an Israelite. And don't forget, Ruth was a virtuous woman, and it's going to say something about Cornelius as well. It's going to give him a title, an honorable title. But that ain't all with Cornelius. Also, you got to take into consideration that what? Christ told the disciples to go out and do what? Teach the lost sheep of Israel. Go not into the, matter of fact, give me that scripture too. Give me that scripture right now. No, it's not 1:21. It's should be 5. Yeah.
Matthew chapter.
What happened? What chapter you at? Give me 15:24. Yeah, 15.
Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Right, so Christ letting you know from the start. He's not sent but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Give me the one that said, go down to the way of the Gentiles. That's what I was looking for. Give me that one. Matter of fact, just give me back to Acts 10:1. But Christ basically let the disciples know, go not to the way of the heathens, but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Meaning, now we're in America right now. If I tell Rakar Karab to go teach the blacks, Hispanic, and Native American Indian people, I give them an order. Go teach the blacks, Hispanic, and Native American Indian people in all these ghettos, these reservations, these barrios. I'm basically telling him to go and teach a particular people. Even though we live in amongst heathens, I want you to go and fish your brother, you know what I mean, of your flesh, and your blood, your lineage. That's what Christ was telling the disciples. Now Paul he's under Christ.
Right.
You know what I mean? Peter is under Christ. Peter is Christ's right-hand man. So Peter is doing what? Peter's job is to go and bring the nation of Israel in. Even though we live in amongst these heathens, these Greeks, these Romans, don't worry about the white people.
Right.
You worry about blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indian people. Give me Acts 1. Chapter 1, verse 1.
Chapter 1, verse 1?
No, chapter 10, verse 1. Salaki.
Acts chapter 10, verse 1. There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band.
He's a centurion of the band called the Italian band. What does it mean he is a centurion of the Italian band? What is that talking about? Go ahead.
Is he some type of soldier?
Yeah. Right. Right. He's a soldier in the Italian band, meaning he's a soldier in the white man's army.
Right. It'll be like being a corporal or a captain or a general in the army or the navy.
What's my man name? Colin Powell. It'll be like Colin. Let's picture Colin Powell. It'd be like that. You know what I mean? He's in the Italian band. Now you know what the fake Israelites gonna say, right? He's in the Italian band. That makes him a what? Cause they don't believe he's an Israelite, so go ahead.
They would think that because he's an Italian band, that will make him an Italian.
Yes, they're basically saying this is a white man who can get down with Israel. Once again, trying to make the nation unholy. You know what I mean? You can't be a holy nation of Israel if you bringing everybody else in. Holy means to separate from white people.
Right.
From heathens.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he's a centurion in the Italian band. You know what I mean? No different than a brother being in the U.S. military. Matter of fact, we got a brother Lakum I. You know what I mean? Officer Lakum I over there in, I think he's in Hawaii. You know what I mean? Or he was in Hawaii. And he was in the damn IUIC. That's how he got in there. They taught him that lie. Now he over there with Esau. You know what I mean? So picture that brother, like Lakum I, he over there in the white man's military. Same as Cornelius. Cornelius is an Israelite in the Italian band. That's why Peter is about to do what he's about to do. Go ahead.
Verse 2. A devout man.
A what?
A devout man.
A devout man. Go ahead.
And one that feareth Yahweh with all his house, which
Right.
gave much alms to the people, and prayed to Yahweh always.
Right. So it's a devout man and one that feared the Most High with all his house, which gave much alms to the people and prayed to the Most High always. You know what I mean? So he gave alms to the poor, to the nation of Israel. And he got his whole household in order. Keep going.
Verse 4. Oh, verse 3, Salakia.
It's like any say he feared the Most High. You know what I mean? The fear of the Most High is what? The beginning of what? Understanding. And wisdom and knowledge. So where's the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High? These laws, statutes, and commandments. And we know that the Lord didn't give the laws to the heathens. So he feared the Most High, and he keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments in the best way he can because he's an Israelite. I'm going to get more into it. Keep going.
Verse 3. He saw in a vision evidently about the 9th hour of the day an angel of Yahweh coming in to him and saying unto him, Cornelius.
Go ahead.
Verse 4, and when he looked on him, he was afraid, and said, What is it, Lord? And he said unto him, Thy prayers and thy alms are come up from a memorial before Yahweh.
Right, so this vision, the angel letting them know, like, listen, you've been giving alms, and you've been praying to the Most High. Your alms and your prayers came up before the Lord, man. The Lord remembered it. You know what I mean? The Lord remembered what you've been, he see your works. He know what you've been doing.
Right. And then if I could, the fact that an angel came to him, angels only deal with Israelites. So if you believe that Cornelius is a heathen and the angel dealt with him, you might as well believe Muhammad talked to Michael or talked to
it's been an angel in the Old Testament. I think in the book of Genesis. I think around when I want to say Abraham said his sister was his wife. I mean, his wife was his sister, and the Lord came unto the man to let him know. You know what I mean? But that was to let him know he was going to kill him. You know what I mean? But majority of the time, the Lord sending that angel to let Peter and Paul them know that, listen, I'm going to send this person to you, and you're going to deal with him. You know what I mean? Like the angel Gabriel, he sent it to Mary and Joseph to deliver a message. Most of the time, if the Lord came to a heathen, it was letting them know, I'm going to kill you.
Right.
Oh, man, I'm going to kill you. In the book of Daniel interpreted the dreams, you know what I mean? So it was Daniel really doing the work of the Lord. But 9 times out of 10, the Lord sending that angel to deal with the Israelite. You know what I mean? If he sent it to that heathen, it wasn't nothing nice. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he sent the angel to Cornelius. And just to add on, he's a devout man and he feared God. You know what I mean? So you add that to an angel coming to see him, you know it ain't nothing bad.
Right.
He's an Israelite. Go ahead.
Come on, verse 5. And now send me to Joppa and call for one Simon, whose surname is Peter.
Go ahead.
Verse 6. He lodgeth with one Simon and Tanner, whose house is by the seaside. He shall tell thee what thou oughtest to do. Verse 7. And when the angel which spake unto Cornelius was departed, he called 2 of his household servants, and a devout soldier of them that waited on him continually.
Right, so the angel came and delivered a message to Cornelius, and then the angel left. Now Cornelius, you know what I mean, he's about to do exactly what the angel told him in the vision, which was he called 2 of his household servants and a devout soldier of them that waited on him continually. So he about to send them to where Peter was at. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And when he had declared all these things unto them, he sent them to Joppa.
Go ahead.
Verse 9. On the morrow, as they went on their journey and drew nigh unto the city, Peter went up upon the housetop to pray about the 6th hour.
Go ahead. So Peter is in Joppa, and he went up to the rooftop, the housetop. He went up to the housetop to pray about the 6th hour. Go ahead.
Verse 10. And he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they made ready, he fell into a trance.
Right, so he was hungry, and while they was cooking the food, he fell into a trance. Keep going.
Verse 11.
It's like, who know what a trance is? What do you mean he fell into a trance? Peter fell into a trance. Go ahead.
Like he was hypnotized. He was in a daze.
Yeah. Like what they say, daydreaming. Keep going.
Come. Verse 11. And saw heaven opened, and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the 4 corners, and let down to the earth.
Right, so he went into a daze, man, and he seen something coming down as if it was a sheet knit at the 4 corners. So picture, you know what I mean, a sheet coming down, and it's knitted, it's tied at all 4 corners, and it's coming down. Give me verse 12.
Verse 12. wherein were all manner of four-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air.
So that's what Peter is seeing in his vision. He's seeing a sheet come down that's knitted at the four corners, and on top of the sheet, he's seeing wild beasts. What's it? Men of four-footed beasts, wild beasts, creeping things, and fowls of the air. Keep going.
Verse 13, and there came a voice to him, rise, Peter, kill and eat.
Right, rise, Peter, kill and eat. Rise, Peter, kill it and eat it. Go ahead.
Verse 14, but Peter said, not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean.
Right, so it told him, rise, Peter, kill and eat. What shows you that Peter keeping the law, Peter said, not so, I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. So Peter letting you know, like, he keeping the law. Peter letting you know he keeping the law. He don't eat that. He don't eat all these four-footed beasts and wild beasts and creepy things and fowls of the air. Peter said, I keep the law. Go ahead.
Verse 15.
Now Christians read the book of Acts right here, and they say what? Matter of fact, keep reading. It's going to get into it.
Verse 15. And the voice spake unto him again the second time, what Yahweh have cleansed, that call not thou common.
Uh-oh. Keep going.
Verse 16. This was done thrice, and the vessel was received up again unto heaven.
It said, verse 15 said, a voice speaking to Peter again, it's the second time, what God has cleansed, that called not thou common. Now, when Christians put them scriptures together, the wild beasts, and they get down to verse 15, what did they say? They say what? Go ahead. Yeah. all unlawful food. All unlawful food. All unlawful meats, unlawful birds, all that. Is that what it's talking about? No, that's not what it's talking about. You know what I mean? So the Christians basically telling you, the Lord said you can break the law.
Right.
The Lord said if you break the law, He's gonna punish you. So the Christians tell you the Lord said you can break the law now. You see why we being punished? You see why we're being punished? Because we believe in Christianity, man. This is not what it's talking about. It's not telling you to eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, man, all the unlawful foods. That's why you got a dietary law. It ain't got nothing to do with beasts at all.
Right.
Keep going.
Verse 17. Now while Peter doubted in himself what this vision which he had seen should mean, behold, the men which were sent from the men that were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simon's house.
Right.
And stood before the gate.
Right. So verse 16 says this was done 3 times. So the sheet with the knitted corners with the wild beasts and the fowls of the air, it came down. It did that 3 times. And then this verse 17 said, now while Peter doubted in himself what this vision which he had seen should mean, behold, the man which was sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simon's house and stood before the gate. How many men did Cornelius send? Go ahead.
He sent 2 men.
He sent what?
2 men.
2 men?
2 men.
Lie.
It sent 3 men, 2 servants, and 1 soldier.
Right, he sent 3. He sent 3. And then verse 16 said this was done thrice, meaning that sheet came down 3 times. The Most High, well, we're gonna get into it, but basically the Most High is showing Peter in a vision that he's sending you 3 men. and you're going to have to deal with them and clean them up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Why? Because they Israelites. You know what I mean? Not only you going to have to clean them men up, but you got to go back to Cornelius' house and deal with him and his whole family. But he was letting them know that 3 men is coming. Keep going.
Come, verse 18. And called and asked whether Simon, which was surnamed Peter, were lodged there. Verse 19. While Peter thought on the vision, the Spirit said unto him, Behold, 3 men seek thee.
Right, so while Peter over there thinking about what it means, 3 men come to the gate. Go ahead.
Verse 20. Arise, therefore, and get thee down, and go with them, doubting nothing, for I have sent them.
Right, so go ahead and get down and go with them and doubt nothing, because the Lord sent them. You know what I mean? Just like the Lord sent that vision, the Lord sent those 3 men. Go ahead.
Verse 21. Then Peter went down to the men which were sent unto him from Cornelius, and said, Behold, I am he whom ye seek. What is the cause wherefore ye are come?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 22. And they said, Cornelius the centurion, a just man.
A what man?
A just man.
And not, he's a devout man, he's a just man. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
And one that feareth Yahweh, and a good report among all the nations of the Jews.
Right. Listen, a just man who feared the Most High and got a good report among all the nation of the Jews. Come on, man. You know this ain't talking about no heathen, man. You got a good report amongst the Jews, man. Why the hell would he be a Gentile, well, a heathen?
Right.
How can he be a heathen?
Right.
He only can be a heathen if them Negroes teaching you that love white women.
Right.
Want to be like the white man. Love Africans. I mean, that's the only way. That's the only way you'll believe that, if you hate your blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indian people. If you're not keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, or you don't know how to keep them because you're not in the truth. That's the only way you'll believe Cornelius is not an Israelite. If you out of the I.S.U.P.K, not under the U.P.K doctrine.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which is the truth. Keep going.
Verse 1-2. And they said, Cornelius the centurion, a just man, and one that feareth Yahweh, and of good report among all the nations of the Jews, was warned from Yahweh by a holy angel to send for thee into his house, and to hear words of thee. Verse 23. Then called he them in, and lodged them. And on the morrow Peter went away with them, and certain brethren from Joppa accompanied them.
Right, so Peter left with the 3 men, and brothers came with Peter. You know what I mean? Accompanied Peter as they went to Cornelius. Go ahead.
Verse 24. And the morrow after they entered into Caesarea, and Cornelius waited for them, and had called together his kinsmen and near friends. Verse 25. And as Peter was coming in, Cornelius met him, and fell down at his feet, and worshipped him.
Go ahead.
Come. Verse 26. But Peter took him up, saying, Stand up, I myself also am a man.
Right, like you're not worshiping Peter. You know what I mean? Don't worship Peter. Peter said he's a man. You know what I mean? Who are you supposed to serve? The Most High. I mean, Peter just letting them know, listen, I'm a man, man. Don't fall down to me. Go ahead.
Verse 27. And as he talked with him, he went in and found many that were come together.
Right, so many brothers and sisters came together under Cornelius' authority. You know what I mean? So Cornelius had his kinfolk, you know what I mean, other Israelites, and his friends that was Israelites, and they was all with Cornelius. You know what I mean? So he brought a lot of people under his roof. Go ahead.
Verse 28. And he said unto them, Ye know how that is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company, or come unto one another nation.
Right, so Peter letting them know it's unlawful for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come into one of another nation. You know what I mean? Even during the time of Moses, the Lord said what? He separated us from the Egyptians. You know what I mean? He set us apart from the Egyptians. We couldn't even, during the time of Joseph, we couldn't even eat with the Egyptians, man. Because we're a holy people. So Peter is letting them know, like, it's unlawful for a Jew to keep company or to come into one of another nation, of them heathens. You know what I mean? Because he know Cornelius is, you know what I mean, he's in the Italian band and he living amongst them heathens.
Right.
He's not calling Cornelius a heathen. He letting Cornelius know that Cornelius already, the reason why Peter is in Cornelius' house is because Cornelius know he is an Israelite. You know what I mean? And so Peter's letting him know, you know it's unlawful for us to deal with the other nations. And he's saying that because Cornelius is, and all the lost sheep is amongst the other nations. So he's like, listen, it's unlawful for a Jew to deal with, you know, have company with the other nations and to go in unto them. Go ahead.
Khan. Yahweh has showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean.
But I can't consider you common and unclean. Why? Because you are Israelite, you know what I mean? Yahweh sent them out to gather them together. I mean, I can't consider Cornelius unclean because he's here to clean himself up. That's what I'm sent to. I mean, I was sent by Yahweh to Cornelius to clean him up, just like Commander Yahanna, he sent men out to clean us up in different cities and neighborhoods and different, you know what I mean, countries and islands and all that. We all over. So what Peter is doing to Cornelius is nothing different than what we doing to our brothers down here in Atlanta, in New York, in D.C., in Philly, Louisiana, all over, man, all over America, all over the world. The only thing is Cornelius, he was in the Italian band.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which goes to show you what? Do not join the U.S. military. Also, don't be a police officer. You know what I mean? Fake the IUIC gonna tell you can be a cop. They also gonna tell you you can lock brothers up, throw them in the cell with no bail with the 12. You know what I mean? They got that song out saying they throwing brothers in the cell, and you should throw them in the cell with no bail because you the 12. 12 meaning what? The cops. So they letting you know that they the police. You know what I mean? We cannot be a police officer, man. Cornelius is not validating you brothers, you blacks, Hispanic, and Native American Indian men to be police officers. That ain't what Cornelius is doing. You know what I mean? He just happened to be in the Italian band. But he's about to, you think Peter gonna tell him to stay in the Italian band? Peter is an Israelite, Christ's right-hand man. Peter is out fishing and bringing the nation back together. You can't be in the heathen army and be in the Lord's army at the same time. You can't do that. So no, if you're a brother you want to go to the army, don't do that. You want to be a police officer, don't do it. Come join your nation. I mean, your nation need a force behind it. Don't be a force for the white man, be a force for black, Hispanic, Native American Indian people. Keep going.
Verse 29. Therefore came I unto you without gainsaying, as soon as I was sent forth.
Right, he said, I came to you without gainsaying, like I ain't even second guess it. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
As soon as I was sent forth, I asked therefore, for what intent ye have sent for me? Verse 30, and Cornelius said, 4 days ago I was fasting until this hour, and at the 9th hour I prayed in my house, and behold, a man stood before me in bright clothing. Verse 31, and said, Cornelius, thy prayer is heard, and thy alms are had in remembrance in the sight of Yahweh.
So he giving them the account of when an angel visited him. Go ahead.
Verse 32, send therefore to Joppa, and call hither Simon, whose surname is Peter. He is lodged in the house of one Simon, a tanner by the seaside, who when he cometh shall speak unto thee. Verse 33, immediately therefore I sent to thee, and thou hast well done that thou art come. Now therefore are we all here, Salakia. Now therefore are we all here present before Yahweh to hear all things that are commanded thee of Yahweh?
Right, so he let Peter know, he gave Peter the recount of the vision he had, because Peter also had a vision. So when he told Peter that vision he had by the angel, that Peter perceived something. Go ahead.
Verse 34, then Peter opened his mouth and said, of a truth, I perceive that Yahweh is no respecter of persons.
Right, then Peter knew, like the Most High, he's not no respecter of persons. You know what I mean? Like you could be in the army or police officer. If you're an Israelite, you got to come out of that. You can come into the truth. I mean, you could be rich, you can be poor. The truth is for blacks, Hispanic, Native American, Indian people, no matter what. Go ahead.
Verse 35, but in every nation, he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him.
Okay, read that again.
Verse 35, but in every nation.
But in every nation, go ahead.
He that feareth him.
He that feareth him.
And worketh righteousness.
And worketh righteousness.
Is accepted with him.
Now, what would a Christian tell you? Out of all nations on the earth, you no matter what color you is, you know what I mean? If you fear God and you work righteousness, the Lord will accept you. Now, give me a precept that proves that that's not talking about every nation on earth. Who know the precept? It's in the book of Acts. Who? Go ahead, brother.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
When it's talking about it say fear is him and working the righteousness, is it talking about like the works that you're doing as far as in the kingdom of or in the house of Israel as in the works that you're doing?
What do you mean by the works? He said working righteousness, doing right by the Most High. Yeah, just think about Cornelius being a devout man and he's praying to the Most High and he giving alms to the people. You know what I mean? He's doing right by the Most High in that sense. Now he know he's an Israelite and he's doing the best he can. He know not to deal with I mean, it don't say about him sleeping with no heathen woman or nothing like that. But it's the reason why the angel came to him and why the angel came to Peter, and that's why they meeting up at Cornelius' house. Because he prayed to the Lord and he feared the Most High. And the fear of the Lord of his what? Wisdom and understanding. And so he praying to the Most High. He got some wisdom and understanding of the Most High, and he giving back to the people. So that's talking about working righteousness by the Lord. But the Christians look at that like anybody who pray to God, anybody who give back to anybody of any nation, as long as you doing what's right, which Christians don't even know what's right. They don't even know the law, statutes, commandments. But in their mind, doing right to them is you not being racist. Like you can't hate, you can't be racist. That's righteous to Christians. Now we don't see color. We say love. What's that thing Christians be saying, man? They said love has no color, something like that. All the stupid things them Christians be talking about, man. They think that they know righteousness when they don't know what they're talking about. But the Christians will pull this particular scripture and say, see, the Lord accepts all nations. As long as they doing right, he'll accept them. At the same time, they be eating pork on a daily basis. But who got their precept? Go ahead.
If I could, the Christians also say, you know what I mean, don't hate, but they'll hate their own brothers and sisters. They hate their own people. But the precept will be Acts 2 and 5.
Pull it.
Acts chapter 2, verse 5.
Hold on, brother Willie, were you good with that answer? All right, go ahead.
Acts chapter 2, verse 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men.
They were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men. Hold on, Cornelius is a devout man, right? Cornelius was a devout man. It said there was dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men. Go ahead.
Out of every nation under heaven.
Out of every nation under heaven. Now, how can that be? How can that be? A devout man of the Jews out of every nation under heaven. So is this talking about, well, it's letting you know this talking about the Jews in all nations.
Right.
The Jews amongst all these heathens, man. Go ahead, brother.
Saying that
Right. Even it letting you know the Jews out of all nations under heaven. So even if the Christians want to say, see, it's talking about all nations, it's talking about the Jews. It's not going to say Jew every time because this is your history.
Right.
It's not their history. It ain't going to say Jew every time. You're supposed to know that. You're supposed to know the law. The Most High didn't give the laws to the heathens already. That's back in the Old Testament. You know what I mean? We lost sheep. We trying to find out who we are all over again. But if you're a Jew and you know the wisdom, the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, you praying to the Most High. If you're a Christian, you don't know who the hell you praying to. You praying to the white man, Caesar Borgia. But if you understand this Bible, you will know that it's blacks, Hispanic, Native American, Indian people history. You don't have to see Jew every scripture, man.
Right.
You know it's for your people because the Bible is for a particular people.
Right.
The children of Israel. Christians, they so retarded and silly and dumb. They'll read one scripture that says it's for Israel. They'll admit that it say Israel. They'll go in the same chapter and see whosoever, and they'll just change. They'll alter their whole their thinking process. Like, yeah, it says Israel, but now it says whosoever. Whosoever amongst the nation of Israel. You got to put it together. You know what I mean? So the precept was what? Acts 2 and 5.
Acts 2 and 5.
Now give me back where you was. Read that scripture again.
Acts chapter 10,
What is 35?
verse 35. But in every nation, he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him.
Now we know that in every nation it's the Jew in all the nations. Oh man, it don't gotta say Jew every 5 minutes, man. Every 5 scriptures, don't gotta say Jew. Oh man, you know that the Lord is only he sent Christ to die for the nation of Israel only.
Right.
And Christ sent the disciples out, you know what I mean, the apostles, to teach Israelites only. Once you know that, you're not going to get tricked out on no Gentile scripture, no stranger scripture in the Old Testament. You're going to understand the difference between Israelites who were strangers and heathens. You're going to understand the difference between Israelites that were Gentiles and heathens that are Gentiles.
Right.
You know what I mean? Keep going.
Verse 36. The word which Yahweh sent unto the children of Israel.
To who?
To the children of Israel.
Right after 35, it lets you know again. He sent the word to the children of Israel. He letting you know. The answer is always in the same chapter. Christians just don't know how to read. Keep going.
Preaching peace by Yahweh Shah Mashiach. He is Lord of all.
Lord of all Israelites. You know what I mean? Is that it? How many verses we got? Okay, keep going.
Verse 37, the word, I say, ye know, which was published throughout all Judea, and began from Galilee, Salakia, after the baptism which John preached.
Go ahead.
Verse 38, how Yahweh anointed Yahweh Shai of Nazareth with the Holy Spirit and with power, who went about doing good and healing all that were oppressed of the devil.
Right, so Peter is letting Cornelius them know, man, like Yahweh shall die for a particular people. Go ahead.
For Yahweh was with him.
And he was with him. Go ahead.
Verse 39, and we are witnesses of all things which he did both in the land of the Jews and in Jerusalem, whom they slew and hanged on a tree.
Right, Peter didn't witness that, man. Peter denied Christ thrice, meaning 3 times. And Peter still went out strong in the name of Christ, man. They're letting you know, man, you might fall weak, but you got to gain that strength back. You know what I mean? The main thing is not to leave this truth. I mean, you come into this body, man. Don't ever leave this body. Don't ever leave this brotherhood, this sisterhood, this nationhood, man. You know what I mean? Keep going.
Verse 40, him Yahweh raised up on the 3rd day and showed him openly. Verse 41, now to all the people but unto witnesses chosen before of Yahweh.
Right, the Lord allowed certain men to see Christ when he rose him up on the third day. And Peter is letting them know they witnessed to that. Go ahead.
Even to us, whom did eat and drink with him after he rose from the dead.
Go ahead.
Verse 42, and he commanded us to preach unto the people and to testify that it is he which was ordained of Yahweh to be the judge of quick and dead.
Right, the judge of the quick, the living, and judge of the dead. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Verse 43, to him give all the prophets witness, that through his name whosoever believe in him shall receive remission of sins.
That's it? All right, I'm going to open up the brothers and sisters on the phone. Any questions? Any questions about what we went over or questions in general that you have? Go ahead.
I was sitting here listening to, remember about what you said about the first part of class when you said the other Israelite group saying that Ruth is not an Israelite.
Uh-huh.
In the book of Psalms, it say in chapter 147, verse 19, that it was given to Jacob, and the statutes from law were given to Jacob.
Right, you saying there's a precept?
Yeah, I can go to the precept for you.
Yeah, that's a precept for it, but what, you had a question about that?
Yeah, my question was, if that precept goes with the whole book of the whole book as a whole, how can you just exclude Ruth as being an Israelite when it said everything was showed to Jacob, everything was given to Israel?
Oh, you talking about you saying how can them others, them break off groups say that Ruth is not an Israelite?
Right, when you have the proof that says it in Psalm 147:19,
You
at the end of the book of Ruth, chapter 4, verse 18, it gives you the whole, gives you the lineage after that up until King David.
right.
It's like, you can't just miss that. You just can't throw that out.
Hey, listen.
Because you have feelings about that word.
Listen, you know why they miss it and why they throw it out? Because they Christians, man. They don't see the truth. They under the white man's authority, you know what I mean? They see how the white man see it. They love the lies. So when they see they would admit, they'll admit Psalms 147:19 is 20, the law was only given to Israel and Jacob. And then they'll turn right around and say, Ruth cannot be an Israelite. And they'll go in and find the wrong scriptures, pull the wrong scriptures and say, see, this proves that she's not an Israelite. And you be looking at them like, what the hell is this Negro talking about, man? But that's the reason why they can't be in the I.S.U.P.K. Because they don't want to understand the truth. And a lot of this is really, once you get the breakdown, a lot of it is so simple. Like, one thing you got to remember is the law. Once you understand the law, statutes, and commandments, and you read the stories of the Bible, within each story is the law. And the Most High is never telling you to break the law. So if Ruth wasn't an Israelite, you basically saying that the Most High is telling the Boaz to sleep with a heathen and break the law.
Right.
It don't make sense, man. It don't make sense. So always remember the law when you're reading the Bible. Oh, man. Any other questions? I mean, any brother and sister online before we close out? You got a security announcement? All right, when's the okay, I get it. All right, if no brothers and sisters online don't got any questions, no comment, nothing, I'm gonna pass the class over to Officer Ricard Karab. He's gonna read security announcements.